Hi guys, coming at you with another video. This one is a day after my second chemo treatment, and so just wanted to update you guys on how my first chemo went and how this chemo is going and the side effects and things that I've found out and learned so far. So for my chemo, I will have about 12 treatments, and that's every 2 weeks. So my first one was on the 11th, and my second one was on the 25th. And my first chemo went very well, and so far the second chemo is going very well. My second week after my first chemo, I was having some side effects. I was having some nausea. Um, I had some neuropathy in my fingers. One of the chemo medications stains your urine, and so I was having some stained urine. My arm hurt a little bit. I saw some hair loss, but I'm not exactly sure if that was just stress or stress and the chemo. Right now, I'm factoring that it's just stress because I'm only into my second chemo, so I'm not real sure about that. Um, Recently, I've been having nosebleeds, but it's not like real active. I just feel some uh, like liquid in my nose, and then I check, and it's some blood, um, and uh, and it doesn't come with headaches. So I'm thinking maybe it's just dry air around my house because it has been warmer and humid where I am right now. So maybe that's it. I'm not particularly sure um, about that. Like I said, I saw some hair loss, and I'm having a little bit more hair loss than I usually have, but really not too much. Um, I was told by uh, one doctor that I would go completely bald, and then another doctor that said that I'll just have thinning. So it all really depends on my makeup, I guess. I'm not exactly particularly sure. Like I said, one doctor said fully gone, and another doctor said just thinning. Um, I've been told, I'm sorry if I keep on bumping, um, I've been told to drink copious amount of beverages. So I have been drinking water and juice and any liquids, and I talked to the dietitian that was at my center, and she said any liquids that include soups too, um, and so any liquids that you can possibly get in because it helps clean out. So the chemo drugs go in your body, but then you get them out as soon as possible, which is a good thing because you don't want the chemo just staying in your body because that will do more damage to it. Um, I signed up for two mentor support groups, and one is Intermen's Angels. I will link that down below, and Friend for Life. Yes, and I was matched with one lady from the Intermen's Angels and one lady from the Friend for Life, and both of them contacted me within a week's time, and I think that both matches are pretty good matches so far. There was one that I was talking to on the phone for like maybe an hour, and then the other one I was talking to for like 5 hours, and we just told each other uh, our stories, and they were telling me side effects and all this kind of stuff, and they both seemed like very nice ladies. And you have a choice. You could either have a male or a female, however you're comfortable, because it's about you being comfortable. Because you're not comfortable, you're not gonna have the same amount of support, and you know what I'm trying to say. Um, I found some other sites that have other resources, and I will, if I remember, I will try and link those down below also, because resources are the best things possible, and they give you support. I saw one that does free wigs, and does some trips, just to, one was like rock climbing and stuff, which I'm like, that's pretty awesome. Rock climbing, or what was the other one? Hiking and some other stuff. I'm not sure what exactly happened. I think my laptop overheated, so this is being filmed on my cell phone. So like I was saying, there was hiking and rock climbing, and I think one was like canoeing and fishing for some of the resources. And so I thought that was fun. Some of them are for when you're going through chemo, and some are for after chemo. So it all depends. Like I said, if I remember, I will post it down below, some of the resources that I have found. Going into chemo, the 2 times that I've gone, I was watching other YouTube videos, and somebody said to get one of those necklaces, those essential oil necklaces. And so I got myself a tree one, and you just open it here. Oh, and it has a little pad, and it's a good size. And I just dropped peppermint oil. You could use peppermint oil or lavender or lemon, whatever one would calm you. I was told that peppermint works well, or in the video, the gal used peppermint, and she said that combated the smell of alcohol and the chemo nauseous feeling that she got. And so I've worn that, and I have never got nauseous when I'm getting chemo. I've never gotten nauseous, and I wear that typically the first 3-4 days, or just have it around where I'm sitting. And if I do start feeling nauseous, I just smell it for a second and it dissipates. So that was a really good trick. I don't have my chemo bag with me because I already took the stuff out of my bag, but I bring that to chemo. I bring either a juice or a snack. I usually bring both. But the chemo center that I go to offers snacks, and they offer a free lunch from one of the local restaurants around there. So I don't have to worry about lunch. And they're always offering water and juices and all that kind of stuff, because like I said, you need to continually stay hydrated. And I got myself a planner, and I think this was like $10 at Target, but I got this one because I just liked that it had a pocket and everything, and I could reuse it. And I just have my, and so I can keep track of my appointments and all that kind of stuff. And I have some post-its and flags and stuff for it, just to keep track, because a lot of times they'll tell me when my next appointment is, because how mine goes is a week before going to chemo, I go and have a doctor's appointment and either talk to the doctor or his APN, I think that's how the abbreviation, his nurse. And I talk to them and I have a lab to see where my white blood cells and my cells and my levels are. And if I'm cleared for chemo, then the next week on Monday I will have my chemo. So it's see a doctor, have a chemo, see a doctor, have chemo. And that's how my 2 chemos have gone so far. And it's working pretty well for me. I don't know what else to mention. I feel like I will have more ideas later on, but right now that's how everything is going. Like I said, this is Tuesday and I had my second chemo yesterday. And so it seems to me, just like I said, having 2 so far, that the first week of having the chemo, I'm good. But like the second week, I might not be so good. But it could be just because it was my first chemo. I feel like I need to say something else, but I really don't know what else to say. You can get cold when you are going through chemo, and the first time I brought a Snuggie, and the second time I thought, oh no, I wasn't too cold, but I got colder this last time, so they offered a blanket for me. And there's different setups for chemo. Like I said, I go to a center, and my center has like individual rooms in it. But there are other chemo places, cancer places, that just have chairs. And so you're just in a big room with other people in their chairs getting their chemo. Mine is a center, so I think it's more private. I'm not exactly sure, but one of my mentors said that she wished that she knew that she had an option of where she could have her chemo, because she had hers in the hospital or at a center, and she's like, I'd rather have it been a private experience versus just a room full of people getting chemo. And I honestly thought going in that I would be in just a big, huge room seeing other people getting chemo. And so my first chemo, when I went in, I was in an individual room, and this last time I was in an individual room. The first time I was in a bed, and it had a 2 or 3 chairs in it, and this time I was just in a room with a couple chairs. But I think if I asked if I said I wanted a bed, I think they would have said, okay. But I didn't ask. The chair was fine, and it reclined. And my chemo so far takes about 3 to 3.5 hours. I was told the first time it was going to be 5 hours, but it was 3 to 3.5 hours my first time. It really all depends on your medication and how they see how you're faring with it. And so far, I guess I'm faring pretty well with it, which is super good in my opinion. And some of my friends know about my diagnosis, and some of them don't know. I posted it on Facebook, so some people know and some people don't, and it all depends on if people are on Facebook and if I have their phone number. Most people I know do know about my diagnosis. And most people are shocked, but I was told that it affects younger people and older people. Like, younger people meaning people in their 20s, and then older people, I think they said like their 70s. And I'm at the end of my 20s, and so it was a bit of a surprise. But when I was in high school, I was reading something. I don't know if I said this in my other video, but I was reading something in high school, a statistic. And I remember counting the amount of people that were in the room. And the amount of people were the number of the people that were in the statistic. And me thinking, am I going to be the person who gets cancer? And so when I was diagnosed, I was like, oh, okay. Well, it happens. I guess it would affect more people in a negative way, but I kind of had it in the back of my mind, so it wasn't that huge of news. I think that's all for now. I hope you guys are having a super awesome day. Alrighty then, bye bye.